Hey everybody, this is Kyle Perry with Inshore Edge. This was supposed to be my debut video for my new channel, kind of describing kind of what my goal is for my channel and my intentions, what kind of product I want to bring you, and also tell you a little bit about myself. But I started filming early with last week and ended up with a flounder instructional and got into the video editing and was like, man, I think I'll just go ahead and put this out and let y'all see a little bit of what I hope to create and get better at content-wise and the type of content. But I needed to get this out to kind of let you know what I'm about and what I hope to do. So like I said, this is the Inshore Edge. I'm here on the Gulf Coast about a year and a half now, courtesy of the United States Air Force. I'm retired after about 20 years. I actually grew up as an Army brat. My family, my father was in the Army also for a long time, retired, and he's the one that taught me fishing at an early age, about 5 years old. We spent a lot of time in the Southeast, small streams and lakes, canoe fishing, small boats, tossing lures, ultralight to be specific. A lot of small little plastics and catching. If anybody's ever done that in a stream in the South or really anywhere, it's amazing all the different species that you can catch. And so that's really, I think, created a drive. I wanted to learn how to catch everything. Just fascinated with all the different types of fish. And so, yeah, and I kind of kept doing that through my teenage years into my early 20s and into my early Air Force career. I owned a canoe all the way till I was 30 years old, and kind of scooting around these little rivers, going deep into the woods and just fishing all day. And then that took us down here at one point to about 13, 14 years ago to Biloxi. The Air Force brought me here to Keesler Air Force Base, and I discovered inshore fishing. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And got some important advice and lessons from Chris Bush, a good buddy of mine who has a Speckled Truth. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. That's when I first met him down here, and he really opened my eyes a lot to really, I think a lot of people when they get into saltwater fishing, they're like, all right, I get them some live shrimp and things like that and go to work. And I see him throwing the same lures I've been throwing my whole life, and I'm like, what am I doing? Why don't I just fish for these fish the way I always have? And so he really brought that home for me. And then Sam Davis and Keith Jackson were neighbors, and just good people who really kind of, I think, just helped me learn initially a lot about inshore fishing, and kind of got the wheels turning in my mind. And so anyhow, like the Air Force always does, it took me away fairly quickly, always too quickly. And my next two assignments were really preparing me in a lot of ways for coming back down here and living on the coast and inshore fishing the rest of my life. I went to Virginia, the Potomac River. It's a tidal fishery, and it's one of the great bass fisheries in the United States. Did that for 4 years, and then also went to Northern California on the legendary California Delta, monster bass swimming around. So that was really special, which is also tidal, just like it is down here. So started talking to my good buddy Tom Frank, my bass fishing guru buddy, and picking his brain and really expanding my ability to bass fish through techniques, tackle, gear. You can catch a bass in a million different ways, and that's fun. It's fun to do. And by the way, I hope to show you all you can do that down here with all these species. You can catch them in a million different ways. And so starting to learn that tidal fishery, chasing bass, because that's what the major predatory species was. And then that brought me down here, and I've been here like I said, about a year and a half. It's kind of been daydreaming a lot about starting a social media platform with the goal of teaching. Like I said, the wheels are always turning, always spinning in my mind when it comes to fishing. I'm always reading, always researching. I'm down here researching pogie papers and mullet papers, migration stuff like that for learning about the different species, how they migrate down here on the coast. And I've been doing that since I was a kid, reading about the fish that I pursue. And of course, as the internet became more robust, watching videos, watching, famous anglers and things like that. Just 40 years of doing that. And I want to give back. I know that's kind of cliche, but more or less just kind of introduce people to how I fish and how I think about fishing It may not be for everybody, but I think that at the very least, if people are trying to get better, I think I might be able to help with that. Whatever it is that you're chasing, whatever it is species you want to catch. And so not only for the Mississippi Gulf Coast, but really all the inshore waters. Most of our species can be found from Texas all the way up to Maryland. But those that are fishing freshwater too. Like I said, there's a lot of bass fishing stuff I've learned. I don't have a bass fishing resume, to so to speak, but a lot of the things you see me do will be recognizable. So, and when I say different species, I'm talking about trout, redfish, flounder. You've got some other ones you'll see me go after. You got the white trout, you got sheep's head, Spanish mackerel. I mean, if they're predators and they swim, I love to chase them. Now, some more than others. You'll see me heavy on trout, flounder, and reds, that's for sure. Especially trout, the more I fish for them down here, especially as currently I'm trying to learn the big trout, which is already, you can tell it's going to be a lifetime of learning. Just in a lot of ways are like bass. There's levels to it. Can you fill a cooler with some keepers? Can you catch the big girls? And they just seem to get more elusive and smarter as they get bigger. So that's fascinating. I hope to bring a lot of that to you. But the number one goal will always be teaching, always be education. I'll bring good content to the best I can. I'll constantly stay committed to getting better at video editing and filming and that kind of thing, and trying to combine the teaching ideally right there on the spot as you guys see the background and see where I'm fishing. And of course, I will edit it to include fish catches, right? Because everybody wants to see fish catches. I mean, I think you all know I'm not catching fish every cast all day long. None of us are, but if I can show you and talk to you in the moment, at that dock, flip under a dock, catch a red or a flounder, and talk through it beforehand, what I'm trying to do, talk about it after, it really brings it home to be able to see what you're supposed to do, how you do it, and the results. I mean, results always bring it home. So again, it'll be a little bit of a journey, but I hope to get good at all this and bring that good content. As I'm learning myself, I'm going to be learning for the rest of my life. And if I try to stay humble, if we all stay humble, realize whatever you do, you can always learn. And that's what I commit to, is not to stop learning, and then to impart that on y'all the best I can. And so, yeah, I appreciate you following and liking, and tell your friends, share it. I hope to have something that's worth following and worth watching and having on your feed, popping up whenever I put new content. Again, I appreciate you. I appreciate all the likes and the follows so far. I will always be appreciative for all of it. And so, again, come along with me on the Inshore Edge, and stay tuned until next time.